Origins of Beyonder. The Beyonder is an immensely powerful extra-dimensional entity of disputed origin. The Beyonder is the beyond-all and end-all of all things, striven on occasion to be both mankind's greatest savior and threat, in a quest to better understand human nature. The Beyonder was originally from an infinite realm beyond the Marvel multiverse, called the Beyond Realm, and was the sum of everything outside the multiverse. Our multiverse was a drop in the sea compared to the Beyond Realm. It became self-aware and formed a being of immeasurable power. He was originally described as millions of times more powerful than the entire multiverse. The Beyonder first became aware of our universe when the Molecule Man gained his powers through an atomic accident. This accident was of such importance for all of existence that it pierced through from our universe to his, creating a pinhole through which he could peer through. After observing for some time, he decided to precipitate the first secret wars, in which he teleported numerous heroes and villains from Earth to battle each other. He created his own battle world from several planets and a Denver suburb. He offered the victors anything their hearts desired. Ultimately, Dr. Doom stole his power, and the Beyonder had to reclaim it. After observing humans, and ultimately interacting with them, the Beyonder still did not feel fulfilled. The Beyonder decided to come to Earth and spend time among us. He interacted with many heroes and villains and cosmic forces in an attempt to better understand the meaning and root of desire. His frustration with this attempt led him to become more and more erratic and dangerous to the rest of the multiverse. In the end, he paid the ultimate price, and was killed by the Molecule Man. The Beyonder has been the source of many retcons and reinventions over the years. The creator of the character, Jim Shooter, on the topic of the character, says we introduced the Beyonder was studying these beings, us, that he had discovered. He also stated that Beyonder was from a whole different multiverse. Where he existed, he was everything and everything was him. In a sense, he was like God before there was Genesis. The event which we will discover later opened a hole into our universe and he saw Earth. For the Beyonder, it was like when the Dutch inventor Van Leeuwenhoek looked through his microscope and discovered little Paramecia swimming in a drop of water. It was a shocking revelation. A whole new world of existence was revealed. This is similar to what happened when Beyonder saw Earth. Marvel's next editor-in-chief Tom DeFalco felt that Beyonder was too powerful. His power became the end of him as Marvel deconstructed his abilities and cast him as a hoax. This is the first, or Cosmic Cube, retcon. The Beyonder became a much lesser super being, and his previous super feats were all, or at least partially, in his mind. Later it was decided to further retcon the character, making it so that the Beyonder was both an inhuman and a mutant. This itself was later retconned by Jonathan Hickman, who established that the Beyonder was actually a child unit of the Beyonders. Powers and abilities. Here is an explanation of the Beyonder's powers and power shifts as a result of the Recton storylines. Retcon Beyonder. Classic Beyonder. As a result of being the entirety of a dimension of far more scope than our own multiverse, he was more powerful than all of the rest of reality. He was described in narration as having millions of times more power than all the power in our multiverse combined. He had the power to achieve whatever he pleased. The Beyonder was going to erase the multiverse entirely. He erased death. He destroyed multiple galaxies. He defeated powerful beings like Galactus and a whole group of Celestials with ease. He was able to recreate the same things he erased. With a simple hand wave he shattered a dome the Molecule Man created to endure multiversal destruction. He easily survived a blast from the Molecule Man that could have slagged several billion dimensions, when he had a large portion of his power in the cup that was going to kill death. He still had more power than the combined cosmic entities of our multiverse. When Mephisto created Beyonder Spain using the Beyonder's own expended power plus all of the power in our multiverse, Mephisto still wasn't sure it was enough to destroy him. His battle with the Molecule Man affected every being on every planet on every dimension. Also, his power is omnipotence. However, he did have certain circumstances where he felt there was a chance for someone or something to defeat him. At one point when he wanted to die, he was going to let the thing kill him or at least his body by intentionally not healing himself. He said that when he was drunk, Doctor Strange could have trapped him in a pocket dimension and kept him inebriated. He said Rachel Summers, as Phoenix, almost had a chance to defeat him when he gave her some extra power. He said that Puma, under a mystic universal alignment of power, could have killed him. He said that the heroes in the final battle against him almost had a chance due to the involvement of the Molecule Man. It is possible that Beyonder Spain would have worked. However, most of these were either due to his own self-limiting of power or some other kind of special circumstances. In no situation was anyone ever actually more powerful than him. In the case of the Puma, he had the power of the entire universe behind him, but the Beyonder was more powerful than our entire universe, so in terms of direct power, it shouldn't have been enough. However, there are cases in the normal world where a weaker object can break a stronger object if it hits it in exactly the right way. For instance, it can set up dissonant shock waves that are a counter to the other object's structure, and force it to break itself apart. This must be similar to the situation with Puma. On the other hand, the Black Knight's ebony blade, and Magic's soul sword, which normally can cut through magic, had no effect on him at all. This version is considered stated to be omnipotent. Writers later on deplored the Beyonder, which resulted with other versions. Marvel had two gods, then changed to the one above all as one god. Post-Rietken Beyonder one cosmic cube. Beyonder was a cosmic cube, created by beings called Beyonders, without a container. He invented, and was sometimes manipulated by other cosmic entities into believing, the events of the original Secret Wars as a way to cope with cosmic awareness. While this version of the Beyonder wasn't as powerful as the original pre-Rietken Beyonder, he shares the same feats. This is because beings of higher power allowed him to. An example being when the Celestials lost to Beyonder, in the revised storyline they wanted to observe his actions. The dome as powerful as the multiverse Molecule Man created, which the Beyonder shattered, wasn't as powerful as the original. In 1984, the multiverse was all the dimensions in Marvel Comics, and now it's only the universes that spring from a common timeline: Earth 616, Earth 1610, etc. So while his feats existed, they don't share the original magnitude of pre-Rietken Beyonder's actions. He was still quite powerful but didn't compare to the likes of Eternity and the Living Tribunal. He still had comic awareness and reality warping capabilities. Other sentient cosmic cubes have been able to manipulate or affect reality on a fairly extensive basis, creating planets cubic and destroying civilizations shaper. In his battle with Owen Reese, after he had transformed into Cosmos but Reese reverted him into his old Beyonder form, their battle affected distant galaxies, distant time periods, and other dimensions. As Cosmos, the Beyonder did not use her powers much. However, it can be inferred that her powers were more or less on the level of other sentient cosmic cubes like Cubic and the Shaper of Worlds, which are in essence limited omnipotence. In her battle with Molecule Man, the effects of their battle affected distant times, dimensions, and galaxies. However, in her Maker persona, her powers were vastly more limited, perhaps due to her incarnation in a more mortal body. She lost a psychic battle with Thanos, although this was at least partly due to her naivete in the ways of battle. Still, Gladiator called her, perhaps with typical comics hyperbole, the most powerful being in the known universe even in this stage of her existence. Post-Rietken Beyonder 2 Current Beyonder Mutant Inhuman. Beyonder was a mutant inhuman who already had unspecified powers, then entered the Turigen Mists and had those powers increased exponentially. It is unclear whether his power under this Rietken is greater or lesser than the cosmic cube version of the Beyonder, or if it is even at the level of Preritkin Beyonder. He was able to create a replica of Manhattan, including its normal and superpowered citizens, a feat that would certainly fall within the power of a sentient cosmic cube. Post-Rietkin Beyonder has reality warping powers, but not as powerful as other versions. Either he is holding back, or just his limitation remains to be seen. Beyonder has Hulk-level strength, cellular replication, super durability, and superhuman intelligence. Along with his reality-altering powers. This version is nigh omnipotent.